friends, welcome to my channel, and today is another Paint With Me session, and let's get those disclaimers out of the way and then it's back to a session. Of course, those little disclaimers. I live near a major highway here in the country of Belize, so you will hear those motor vehicles in my background. Where I live, there's also a lot of wild birds, and you will hear them calling, chirping, crying in the background. And also, I have dogs. My neighbor has dogs, and if anyone passed their houses or if anything disturbs them, you will hear those dogs start barking. And with that, I get back to my regular scheduled program. Okay, so today, as you can see, I'm all pre-drawn up, all pre-lined up, and that's because I am going to choose not the medium, because I already have the medium selected. I'll be using watercolor markers, but I'll be choosing the type of watercolor markers that I choose to use at random. The reason I choose watercolor markers, or water soluble markers, I should say, is a more accurate term, is because this is a medium that I actually do have and I rarely use. And it all goes back to what first inspired this. And this is Jenna Gets Creative Inspiration, because she inspired the No Box Art Box Challenge, which inspired us to use art supplies that we rarely use. And I started thinking about all the art supplies I rarely use, and one of them is watercolor markers. And so for today, I'll be choosing my watercolor markers. And please, guys, I don't have a whole lot. It's not like a whole list. Don't say anything. Don't say anything on my left. Don't. But yeah, so I do have some. I do have from numbers 1 to 7, because I do have 7 different types of watercolor markers. And let's get to it. Yeah, let's just get this over with, okay? Okay, correction, 8th. Now that's because I have 2 types of water soluble markers from the same manufacturer, okay? That's the only reason, and I just had the names of the manufacturers here listed. So I'm using this Random X. It's a app that allows you to select random numbers at random. So I've listed all my water soluble markers from numbers 1 through 8, and let's see what Random X chose for me. 2. OMG. So we'll be using the Pointer watercolor brush pens. Okay, I was not prepared for those markers. This is number 2 on my list, and these are the Pointer. Wait, this is not a Pointer. This is a other one. Let me see if we can find that. I'm so sorry. I actually thought it was going to choose another art supply because I actually had my Ohuhu brush markers all set up, and I was like, okay, so it'll probably choose Ohuhu, so I could just do those. But it chose these, which are the Pointer watercolor pens, double C 3900. Now, these were some of the first set of markers that I had, hence why I had to go fishing for them, because they're like this. I think I did a review of these or a comparison of these way back in the early parts of my channel, but it's a felt tip, as you can see there. Watercolor pen. And up here is how they all swatched out. Okay, so I found it here in Belize. I can't say exactly where I bought it, but I found it here in Belize, and let's get started. So I actually have my drawing pre-drawn up because I really didn't know what art supply was going to choose. I was hoping it chose the Ohuhus, so I actually drew this with the Ohuhus in mind, but since it picked the Pointer watercolor pens, let's get started, and let's go to our speed drawing now, or speed coloring now. see, I try to use as much colors and as much techniques with these as possible. I did do color mixing in my palette. I did use its watercolor effect to its fullest. Some of these, especially I think it was the blue, this dark blue was dried up at first presentation, but I just dipped it in a little bit of water in my palette and it just came back to life and was able to produce this beautiful night sky. Things I could say, I haven't used these for a very long time. I believe the first time I used these, it wasn't with this kind of effect, it was actually with another. So I can say that my art is improving, the way I use mediums are improving, because back then I didn't do this, and this is actually very beautiful. If you're seeing it, there's a little bit of mistakes here and there where there was overlapping of colors, where the color bleed through a little bit, but all in all, this is a practice session. With that, I will end this session with you. Thank you so much for joining me again, and as always guys, stay safe. I really do mean that. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.